For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tony Mossman. I chair the governing body of St Mary's. On behalf of fellow governors, the head teachers and all staff, I'd like to welcome everybody this evening. I would like to start this evening with a prayer. God our Father, we thank you for the many successes of the last year. We thank you for our students and for the many ways that they contribute to our community. We thank you for our families and the support that they give to our college and to their children. We pray that our college will always be a place where the values that we profess will be lived every day as we continue to love and serve Christ and us all. We make this prayer through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to everyone this evening, to all our students who are getting awards, to their families and friends who are here. I'd like to extend a special welcome to our special guest, James Sankey. If you've already read the entering your programme this evening, a quick summary there of the work James has done and is currently doing. And if I could say to someone fairly young, he's done a lot already in his life. But I'll leave James to tell you about what he's doing. Tonight is about celebrating success of our students right across the college. And I won't dwell too much, or I won't talk too much about success, because I know Mr. Boyle wants to say a few words, and I'd hate to steal his script. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Again, tonight is a very special evening. As you know, this is my third celebration evening at St Mary's. And as I said when I first came to the school, I'm not sure how this will work, but for me, it's become a very special night of the year. And it focuses why it's so special is because sometimes our time and energy in school is spent focusing on things that aren't always so positive, that aren't always recognising the positives. And tonight is that real opportunity, I think, for us to recognise the achievements of our students, but also to recognise the role that parents play within that. That when we talk about a partnership between our teachers, our students and our families, it's the kind of achievements we celebrate tonight that are a product of that. When Mr. Mossman talked about achievement, we will get, and in fact it's literally just arrived in college, our Ofsted report. Our Ofsted report will say that achievement at St Mary's is good. And when we read that, we'll be incredibly proud of where our results have gone in terms of academic achievement. So the report itself will focus on the fact that our English and Maths results are much better than when Ofsted came previously 2 years ago. And it will talk about the progress in that area in particular, and the fact that so many more of our students are now achieving those kind of achievements. And the sadness will be that actually it will say little else about the achievements of our students. Because we're incredibly proud of their academic achievements. But one of the great things about tonight is that it recognises achievement in its widest sense at St Mary's. We celebrate our academic achievement. We celebrate our sporting achievement. We celebrate our achievement in terms of performing arts. We celebrate our achievement in terms of the contribution that our students make to the wider community. And that is what makes a real school. That is what real achievement is about. It's a much more inclusive thing than merely just about the academic. We know that's critically important in terms of the life chances of our students, but we also know as students, as parents, as teachers, that what's most important is actually the values that our young people leave St Mary's with. The kind of way they treat each other, the way they respect other people, the responsibility they demonstrate to each other and to the wider community. And that's what's so special about St Mary's, because tonight there are so many awards for so many different things. because so many of our students have so many gifts and talents that we can recognise and celebrate. And that's the wonderful thing about this evening. So I'll say more than that, because I'm incredibly proud of our staff, our students and our parents in what we give to each other in terms of our gifts and talents. So I just encourage you to enjoy the sharing of those gifts and talents, and to be rightly proud of the young people in the business tonight. So well done everybody. I'll get to celebrate some individual achievements with people, but I'm incredibly proud of you all. Thank you. Now James is going to share with us.
Good evening. My name's James. I'm a volunteer for Teams for You. I don't work for Teams for You, I work in Wrexham with young offenders. I've just come tonight to talk to you a little bit about the work of Teams for You and kind of what goes on trips and kind of projects that they've got on. I'd like to start by asking you, what's your dream? Like lots of young boys, when I was young, I wanted to be a professional football player. And one morning I woke up and realised that I probably wasn't good enough, as I hadn't been tapped up by Man United or Liverpool yet. So I asked myself, what do I want to do with my life? And one day I decided I wanted to help people. I wanted to make a difference in people's lives. And I was given the opportunity by a man named Dave Cook, who set up Teams for You, to go on a trip. And Teams for You's motto is making a difference in every child's life. And Dave Cook's got a lot of stories. He's been on a lot of trips to a lot of different countries. And one of my favourites is about a child called Sergei. And when Dave was in the Crimea a few years ago, he jumped into a taxi. And the taxi driver turned around to him and said, "Is your name Dave Cook?" And Dave, probably a little bit scared, said, "Yeah." And Sergei said to Dave, "You won't remember me, but I was a street kid and I lived in the sewers. And you took me to McDonald's and fed me. And I used to run around McDonald's like a dog, but you made me feel like a king. And do you remember what you asked me?" And Dave said, "It's quite a while ago, probably not." And he said, "You asked me what my dream was. And I told you it was to be a taxi driver. And because of the way you treated me, I felt like I could achieve my dream." And Teams for You is making a difference in thousands of children's lives all over the world. So I just want to explain a bit about what Teams for You do, but just leave you with that idea of what is your dream. So Teams for You run a number of trips to Sierra Leone, Cambodia, Crimea and Belarus, and also to a sports trip to Uganda, which is the trips that I've been on. I went in November 2011 and also August this year. So I just want to explain with my PowerPoint, which is hopefully going to work. There we go. What Teams for You do. So this is the sort of welcome that we get when we get to a school in Uganda. We go to 2 schools every day, usually about a 12-day trip. And this is the sort of welcome that we get. The kids come singing to us. And we're dealing with about 1,000 kids each school, depending on if it's term time or holiday time. But about 1,000 kids. In August, we played with 8,000 kids all in all while we were on the trip. So the numbers are pretty big. And what we do is the basis of the programme is the sports programme. We set up cones in a grid and we get the kids into teams. And we start them off by singing. We teach them songs, usually Johnny Cash. Yeah, we sing that to them. And they sing local songs to us as well, which we pick up pretty quickly. And we do basic games with them. We see this young person who's got a ball in between his legs, and we just do basic drills with them. And these kids have never played with a ball before, like the ones that we have in this country. Their balls are made out of bin bags or plastic bags which are rolled up in elastic bands. So it's quite an experience for them just to touch the ball, never mind play with it as well. We do basic games like leapfrogging, over and under, and a chain game. All pretty straightforward, simple games, but they absolutely love it. The older lads do football drills, in and out of cones, stuff you do in football training. And they just love the games. They love the fact that you're there playing with them. They love the chaos. This one goes on for miles. We just send them down the road and they just keep going, jumping over each other. These kids have got responsibilities in normal life. They've got responsibilities. They may have lost their mum or their dad or both. So they've got responsibilities to look after their younger siblings, to bring them up. So it's just a chance for them to be kids and to play. So once we've played with all the kids, we spend about an hour all together playing with the kids, maybe depending on how big the school is. We then go to the adults. We'll do exactly the same thing. We get them singing and playing games. And again, these adults have grown up and they've been adults from a young age. They may have been looking after the farm, looking after brothers and sisters, looking after their parents or their grandparents. So it's just an opportunity for them to play, to let their hair down and just relive their childhood. So they do some singing, some games, and then we just have a chat with them at the end of the session about HIV and AIDS, how to avoid catching the disease and spreading the disease. We also do other activities after the games. We do face painting with the kids. We do nail painting. Oh, there she goes. Nail painting with them. Playing with bubbles. And these things, again, these kids have never seen these things. For a kid to see a bubble and then pop it, it just blows their mind. It's amazing to see. I can't really explain, but they absolutely love it. And they chase around the field after these bubbles. And balloons is another one that they love, just pulling a balloon up and letting it go. So that's kind of the fun side of what Teams for You are doing in Uganda. Just playing with the kids, spending time with the kids, getting to know them, talking to them, making a difference in their lives. But then the crucial part, side of it, the more important side, is the HIV and AIDS education. We work in the classrooms. The girls are separated and they're taught about staying in school, the importance of staying in school and not starting a family too young. Something we really take for granted in this country, but we're really lucky to have an education. And I suppose it's normal for girls to finish school early and to start a family early. So Teams for You are trying to encourage them to stay in school. The lads are taught about abstinence and being faithful to their girlfriends and to their wives. Really important messages. And then Teams for You work with a charity out in Uganda. And this charity do the testing for Teams for You, the HIV and AIDS testing. And they encourage people to know if they're positive or negative, so they can receive counselling and also to stop the disease spreading. So I went through the process to see what it was like, and it's difficult to explain because I knew that I wasn't positive. But it's a really scary process to sit there and wait to find out the results. All the adults queue up and wait for their results. And for them, I imagine it's even scarier than it was for me because they don't know whether they're positive or negative, and in those 10 minutes their life can completely change. So in August, 1,014 people were tested, 14 were positive. So the percentage is good, but there's still 14 people there that have had their lives changed, and they received counselling once the team was left from the local charity on how to deal with it. So there's a good setup there for them. This is just some photos of locals going through that process and receiving their results. Team View have also got some other projects out there. They have a pigs project, and this is 2 of their pigs, which are bred and being kept for meat, and this money then goes to local projects. Does anyone know who this fella is on the left? This is Jackson Standard School. His name's Jackson Mayanja. He's known as the Maradona of Uganda. He's broken all sorts of records out there as a football player in Uganda. And they worked closely, Team for You worked closely with Jackson and his school, doing some building projects and also working doing a sports program in the school as well. Just to give you an idea of Uganda and what it's like to live in Uganda, this is the local accommodation, the huts. Generally there's about 3 generations living in one of these huts, up to 12 people. These are the cooking facilities. This is their food. The corn is being kept inside the hut. It can be food or it can be sold. The washing up facilities. The kitchen. The washing line. I wasn't sure whether to put this next photo in, but Man United posters. And just the roof. It just shows the simplicity of their houses, the sort of standards that they're living in. The washing up, when they do the washing up, it always gets me. Just to see the basic standard that they're living in. We went to church while we were in Uganda. Slightly different to our churches over here. It's under a mango tree. It's about 1,000, 2,000 people under the mango tree meet every Sunday. This is the musical instruments. Same song, different words. And it's so basic, but they're still so content with what they've got. They don't want you to feel sorry for them. They're just happy with how they're living. So the Ugandan schools. This is the accommodation for children who have lost both their parents. They sleep on site at the school. There's about 14 kids staying in that room. The classrooms, quite different to our classrooms over here. And then I've just got some photos of our trip in August. So this is the team. Quite a small team for a Team for You trip. I think it was 12. And then just some photos of the trip. The kids copy everything you do. If you act in a silly way, you do a stupid dance or a stupid song, they'll copy you. So this is them just doing all sorts of shapes. But all they want to do is play with you. They don't want your money. They don't beg for stuff. All they want to do is play with you. They just want your time. They're just amazed that you've come over from your country to spend time with them. We use a parachute for the smaller ones, which they absolutely love. And then when we leave the school, we leave them with a football kit. So this is one of them, and there's another. Every team gets a football kit, so we're handing out lots of football kits while we're out there. And I believe you recognise these. Thanks to your donation, kids could be clothed in their uniforms in one of the schools, so thank you for that. And just some more pictures of the kids playing with bubbles, with their face paints. The adults playing. Just looking through these really quickly. One thing we learned when we were out there, that Ugandans can't roly-poly. So when you show them for the first time, they get really scared and they give it a go, to be fair. So, here's one of the ladies being tested. And the work that Teams for You are doing out with the HIV and AIDS testing is working. Figures are slowly declining, and girls staying in school is also changing. I thought you'd like that. Lots of babies in Uganda as well. I just want to finish on this photo because I think it kind of sums up the attitude of people in Uganda. This girl, well, you can see she's dressed in clothes that she's probably been wearing for a long time, and she turned up with this little stick that she's shaped into a hoop. And she's so content with what she's got. She's happy with what she's got, and she doesn't mind that she hasn't got a brand spanking new ball or toy to play with. She just wants to play with you. And so, Teams for You, like I say, go out there to make a difference in these kids' lives. Mother Teresa said, "Today it's fashionable to talk about the poor. Unfortunately, it's not fashionable to talk with them." So I ask again, what's your dream? Sergei's dream was to be a taxi driver. Teams for You gave him the confidence to achieve that dream. I'm not here to ask for your money. I'm here to ask for you. Are you willing to give up your time to make a difference in a child's life? If so, go on the Teams for You website and sign up for one of the trips, or to fundraise for Teams for You. Don't let money or time or flight stop you. Don't let little things put you off. I promise you, when you arrive at those schools and see the thousands of kids screaming and singing just because you're there, you'll be happy you've been to go and play with them. I just want to show you a little clip now. It's got some more photos on it. What's your dream? Is it to go to Uganda and help kids out, to make a difference in their life? If I was to ask now how many people would like to go on a Teams for You trip, would you put your hand up if you'd like to go? One. One's good. I just encourage you to do it, just to think about it. It doesn't have to be a Teams for You trip. It can be any trip. You can make a difference in any child's life if you go abroad and just go on one of these trips. It's amazing what you can do. So just like to encourage you and leave you with that. But thank you for your time.